Hi there. In this lesson, we're going to continue working towards your media coursework essay. Don't forget, in your essay, you're going to be comparing the way that black musicians, black artists, have been portrayed at different periods of time in the media. And we're going to be looking at album covers in particular. In this lesson, we're thinking both about those album covers, but also about what was going on in society, in the world at the time, and how they reflect it. So we're going to be learning two things. We're going to understand the links between music and politics, between how what's going on in the world influences what then goes on in the world of music. And we're also going to learn how and why the image of black musicians has changed over time. Okay, your task is to look at the pictures on the sheet. There are 8 pictures from a variety of different time periods, and you're going to have to explain what was going on in the world and how the portrayal of black people has changed over time. If we look at the earliest of the images, this will be an image familiar with many of you from your history lessons. We have the idea of slavery, of savagery perhaps going on in the world, and black people often were given a very negative image. That's the starting point. But of course, after slavery was abolished, the world moved on, and black people found a much more solid place in society. But this happened slowly but surely. At first, those early attempts of positive portrayals of black people in the media weren't much more positive than the older ones. If we look to this image, yes, we see people who aren't shown as savages, they're shown as human beings, but there's still something not quite right there. There's still something that we could argue is a little bit negative. They're still shown to be poor. Now obviously that could promote the fact that they need to be richer, but at the same time they're shown as simple. They're not shown as equal to white people. Similarly, the image which you may well be familiar with, the image of the gollywog, which you know, people could argue is kind of friendly, it's a cuddly toy, it's familiar, is of course deeply racist. As you're analysing these pictures, you need to think about why that image is so racist. Moving through time then, we move into the civil rights movement in America, and black people found a voice. They wanted to vote, they wanted equal rights. And the images that were published at the time portrayed this. They're much more positive, they're much more powerful, but you'll notice that these two images that I've given you are also both peaceful. They're strong, but they're peaceful. Moving even later to this image from the 1990s in the LA race riots, here we have black people still seeking equal rights, still seeking their place in society, but this time it's in a more violent, more confrontational way. As time passes, these images become more aggressive. The final images are two modern images of black people in society. The first one here is the idea of the gangster, and this is a stereotype that is often still portrayed in the media and news reports today. And then finally, Barack Obama as the American president, but you'll notice he is still identified by race, even on the front cover of Time magazine. So we're going to be thinking about, are these genuinely positive portrayals? Does equality exist, or is there still racism here? To analyse these pictures, you're going to answer a few questions for me. Question number 1. What do the early images of black people suggest? Question number 2, why is that image of the gollywog racist in your opinion? Question number 3, are the images of protest positive or negative? And question number 4, how do the modern images portray black people? Is it in a positive or negative way, or is it more mixed than that? And you're going to answer in as much detail as you can. If you have time, there's also an extension question, which is how have the presentations of black people changed over time? What we're then going to do is apply this knowledge to the CD covers that you'll be writing about for your coursework. Good luck.